A lot of people feel powerless. They feel like there's nothing that they can do.
Getting involved in Rotary, how powerful Rotary is and what they do.
You're around people that have the power to make changes that you alone wouldn't have.
The whole world could be in chaos, and in a lot of ways it is right now, right?
If you want to make a change, there are organizations like Rotary Clubs.
We're all here with a common purpose to make our community and the world a better place.
Imagine the type of impact that you can have on your community.
All the way through Rotary Club, that's what it's about.
Take the responsibility to say, I want to make a change, and this is one of the changes that you can do.
This is the Nico Lagan Show. Frankly, motivation is bullshit. What you need is discipline, and your mindset is the difference between success and failure. Warning. Warning. This show contains explicit content. Listener discretion is advised. Real, raw, and shooting you straight. This is the Nico Lagan Show. And now your host, Nico.
So welcome to another episode of the Nico Lagan Show. I'm your host, Nico Lagan. We are in Arizona at 2AR Patriots, which is more specifically in Lake Havasu City. I am sitting with the son of Sam.
There we go.
Taylor Harrison. What's going on, man?
How you doing, bud?
Fucking Christ, man. Damn.
Hey, shit happens.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done
It'll
it,
be a
though.
good conversation now.
Yeah,
Not that the first one wasn't good.
No, but that's okay. We're rehearsed now. We're gonna start where we met because last week I'm at Son of a Gun cigar lounge in Yuma, Arizona, recording a live. I'm talking loud because I'm passionate about men's rights. I guess you could call. Man, I don't like that, men's right, but unfortunately, I think that's what it's coming.
Men's wellness, men's rights.
Yeah, I think it's coming down to that, unfortunately. But so I was recording a live. Taylor was sitting with his younger brother and one of your colleagues, I believe, right?
Yeah, he works with us. Yep. Yeah, runs one of our stores.
We're at the bar. We're at the bar, and I'm speaking loudly. I'm being passionate about what I do because I take this shit seriously. And I could see them always turning around, like kind of looking over their shoulders. And it's always one of two situations. It's either, yeah, that guy's an asshole, he needs to shut the fuck up, or is it, oh, you know what, I agree with that guy. So when we stopped recording, I went to sit at the bar, and turns out that they actually agreed with what I was saying. And Taylor invited us to Lake Havasu. We've been here for a couple of days, and turns out that you run one of the three local chapter of the Rotary Club.
Yep.
And this was my main idea today, is really to give you a platform, if you will, where you can talk about what the Rotary Club is, because it's the second time. Like we attended a couple of sessions in Richmond, Virginia. Now we've done one here, and I think I'd like to do more in the future because I love what you guys do. But for the people out there that don't know what the Rotary Club is, talk about it. Talk about what the Rotary Club is, what you guys do, and why you guys do it.
Yeah. So first of all, the cigar lounge meeting was just badass. A lot of people came together. That was really cool. So, probably top 10 experiences in my life. And I wanted to say, like, I have this thing where I'll go to an airport every time I'm flying, and I'll sit down at a bar and I'll just try to strike up a conversation with a complete stranger and experience their life and what their perspective is. But
that's true. It's worth mentioning because we mentioned it in the prior portion that I didn't fucking record. But turns out that I was alone with my girlfriend recording. Then you guys were sitting at the bar, and by the time we left, we were about 10 people, all sitting. We had rearranged all the couches in the cigar lounge. We're all smoking cigars, but we're all having an open discussion, and you couldn't have had a more diverse group of guys.
Not at all.
This is what was awesome. You had a couple of black guys, you have a few white guys, you have a couple of Mexicans. You really had what the U.S. is. You had a bunch of guys just sitting there, firefighters. You had military guy. You had you guys that install spas. You have fucking weird French Canadians. But you had a bunch of just dudes doing dude things, talking about dude stuff in a very dude-like establishment.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. But bringing it back to, you mentioned Rotary.
Absolutely.
So I joined Rotary, and I know we already kind of rehearsed this, but I joined Rotary for for the first reason was to meet people. So when we started our business 12 years ago, our local business banker came into our store, and she said, "Hey, Taylor, you're looking to get involved in the community and build your business, and you just graduated college, so why don't you get out here and come to lunch with me at Rotary?" I was like, "All right, I mean, fine." So
Yep.
I go to Rotary, and I was definitely the youngest person in the room. It's there's some.
It's an older crowd.
Yeah, younger
Yes.
in Rotary is 50, right?
Exactly. It's an older crowd.
Here I am starting Rotary at like 25, 26 years old, like youngest person in there, and I'm there to meet people. And trust me, that worked. But quickly thereafter, it changed because I actually graduated college here in Lake Havasu City, and our college project was to develop a Renaissance fair. Like, hey, if you were to do a Renaissance fair, how would you do it? Well, instead of researching shit online, our club, or our group of people, went and met with local organizations, things like the Rotary Club. And I shit you not, man, everyone was like, hey, let's do this. And they sponsored our event. It's 8 years later, there's still a Renaissance fair here in Havasu, and my college class started that damn project. Really cool. So getting involved in Rotary, I did it to meet people, but then quickly I realized how powerful Rotary is and what they do. And the reason they do these fundraisers and events is to raise money to help out the community. So I actually have a Rotary board meeting here in an hour, and we're going to go over basically what our budget is. All the money we brought in, that gets reallocated to things around the city, charitable organizations, and then Rotary International pushes this, like we push it out to global grants. That's crutches in Africa and just doing things all over the world, and that's all the Rotary Clubs working together. So I'm fortunate and blessed to be a part of the Lake Havasu City Rotary Club, and grateful to actually be leading it and have city leaders like the mayor, city council, fire chief, like in the Rotary Club with me leading it. Like, that's amazing as a 31-year-old now. It's phenomenal. But what our little club of 54 people does for the whole world is amazing. And it takes not one Rotary Club, not two Rotary Clubs, but thousands of Rotary Clubs making a huge impact throughout the world. One of the big ones people know about is eradicating polio. It's like 99.9% gone, and Rotary Club was the biggest supporter in getting rid of polio. So just badass what people can do when they come together. And we have if you're a Rotary member, you heard it when you came to our meeting. We start out our meetings with the 4-way test. It goes, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? And the idea there is, if you live your life that way, thinking about those 3 things, or 4 things, I can count, those 4 things, having them at the front of your mindset, you're going to make good decisions and build positive relationships, right?
And the reason I think that organization like the Rotary Club, like the Boy Scouts are great is that they allow a place for men to come together. And most of us are so focused on federal laws, we're so focused on federal governments, we're so focused on state governments that we forget that the real impact is done on a community level. You have your 10,000-foot view, which is your federal government. You have your 1,000-foot view, that's your state government. And then you have the people on the streets, the people that actually care about the community, the people that want to make a change in that community. And to me, a place like Rotary allows for exactly just that. You have power. Let's call a spade a spade. You have some of the most powerful people in that city that are getting together in order to make that community better. Because I know you guys last week, this is just an example, but I think last week you had an Earth Day.
Yeah.
And just explain, I just want to put it into a context where, because we all heard of Rotary, like we've known. I know that most people will recognize the logo.
Yeah.
But taking it upon yourself to spend some of your time just giving back to your community.
Yeah, man, it's important because some people don't realize, like, being the president of Rotary, it's not a paid position. And anyone in Rotary is volunteer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We're all here with a common purpose to make our community and the world a better place, right? The side effect of that is you develop positive relationship with the movers and shakers in the community. But our Earth Day cleanup, it's a perfect example of what Rotary can do. It wasn't just my club that did it. My club pushed really hard for it, but it was the 3 clubs in Havasu, and then we got everyone involved. So one of our club members is president of the Marine Association.
Sure.
So they do things on the lake. Well, as part of our Earth Day cleanup, because we got to clean up Havasu. It's a tourist place, right? So a lot of people don't care, they just throw their trash out, and so someone's got to pick it up. So we had Rick Riegler's his name. He's Marine Association. He organized the lake cleanups.
Yep.
If you haven't been on Lake Havasu, it's beautiful, and we're trying to keep it that way. So him and a whole bunch of other club members did the lake. Then a bunch of our club members did the highway, just on the side of the highway with trash bags and stuff, picking things up. Republic Services is our trash company around here. There are members of, like the managers of Republic Services in our Rotary Club. They donated big fucking rollaway dumpsters, one on the south end of town, one on the north end, and we filled those things up. My dad with his gun shop, we got him involved. They did a cleanup out in the desert, cleaning up, a lot of people like to go shoot guns in the desert, right? They were cleaning up brass and filled up like 3 trucks worth of just trash out in the desert. We got a 4-wheeler club involved. They went out in the desert. Actually, we met with the Mojave County Sheriff's Office and kind of got them on board a little bit too, because there are some things like people abandon cars out there in the desert and shit like that. And so they got involved and said, hey, you know what, if you find something out there, we're going to go ahead, because they have bigger resources to pull from as far as like tow trucks and shit. And they were removing them, and they're going to find people. Like if it's not a stolen vehicle, they're going to go ahead and find them for putting their shit out in the desert, and they've done that. So it's getting people involved and then trying to keep it that way and sustain that. So basically the biggest thing on Rotary, you get involved to make the world a better place, and then you work on getting other people involved with that same mission and interest. And I think hopefully there's a lot more people passionate about keeping our city or our world a nicer place.
There's a misconception among a lot of men out there that one single man cannot change the world. I think that you need to redefine what world means to you. My world might just be my community. And as I said before, and as you're mentioning, this is where the changes are made, is really locally, what's close to you, what people care about. And your best example is the tourists. The tourists come here, they don't give a fuck about your place. They're just here to party. They dump their shit everywhere, but it is the community that goes back and say, you know what? The people that come in, they spend money, they support our local businesses, so we still want to have tourism, but we'll take it upon ourselves to just clean after them because they don't care, but we do.
Yeah, and you said misconception. One person can't, one man can't make a difference. That's complete bullshit. Honestly,
of course, it is.
It takes one person like you and this whole show, talking to people, getting the awareness out there, and that's the biggest thing. But then you came up with another great example. I just want to touch on us focusing on our local community. The whole world could be in chaos, and in a lot of ways it is right now, right?
Agreed.
Our community doesn't have to be. And, so I've never been, I'm from Wisconsin originally, and I've never been to or lived in a city like Havasu where people that live here freaking care about this community, and they work their asses off to keep it as good as it can be. And it's amazing to be a part of that, man. And
this is what the important is. So imagine that you do want to make a change. You want to help your community because you care. Rotary is a perfect example of the type of places that you can show up. That as a man, you can just say, and men and women are welcome to Rotary. It's just my message is always towards men. As a man, if you don't know what to do but you want to participate, go to a Rotary meeting. How does that? Because I've been to Rotary meetings, but I was invited. So I've never applied. I've never tried to become a Rotary member. Maybe wherever we decide to finish, maybe we'll do that. But for the people that are out there, how would what's the process of getting involved?
Yeah, that's a good question. So obviously, Rotarians do invite people that they think are going to add some benefit, right?
Yep.
But not everybody that wants to go to a Rotary meeting is going to get invited, right?
Yep.
So what you can do, I've done it. We just opened up our new store in Yuma. That's kind of how we met. But I just Googled, Rotary clubs in Yuma. There's like 5 Rotary clubs in Yuma, by the way. And you figure out, okay, they meet here at this time. Cool, I'm just going to go there. And, my story might be a little bit different than yours. I can go to a meeting and be like, hey, I'm a Rotarian, and they're going to have me talk a little bit about, hey, I'm from the Lake Havasu City Rotary Club. This is our big fundraiser. This is what we do. This is what we're about. But, you can be a guest to any club. If you show up to 3 meetings, basically, or at least that's our club's rule. 3 meetings gets you into, okay, now you've been to a couple meetings. Do you like it? Cool. You've had a chance to meet everybody. Great. Now you can apply for membership and then get basically voted into the club. For as long as I've been a member, I haven't seen anybody get declined. It's just we want good quality people there that want to make a difference. So yeah, just Google it, find out where a local Rotary Club is, and they're all over the world. Like, if you don't think there's a Rotary Club close to you, I think you're probably wrong. So,
and this to me is the beautiful thing: is just show up. It's really, really that simple. Just show up, do it 3 times in a row. Don't be an ass, and chances are you can be part of it. It's really that simple. Yeah. And this is the first step for you to start making a difference where it matters. Because at the end of the day, it is your community. If you are not happy with your community, do something about it. Stop fucking complaining. Take it upon yourself to own it. Take the responsibility to say, I want to make a change. And this is one of the changes that you can do.
Yeah, one of the badass things about Rotary is I think my club's the best one in Havasu. Maybe it's just the people that are in it or whatever, or because, I'm biased because I'm in that club. Obviously. But there are 3, and I've been to the other clubs too. You could go to different Rotary clubs, feel them out. If you're in a town of like 10 Rotary clubs, feel them out, man. I got friends down in Phoenix that are in Rotary, and hey, they bounce around and they're like, I like this club's focus. This club does more community service projects. This is a younger club. This is an older club. This is, whatever it is that's important to you. You're going to find a Rotary club that you like. I like mine. I hope most people do. But, there's a Wednesday and a Thursday club in town in addition to our Monday club. So they're all over the place. And then, basically biggest thing, get off your ass, make a difference. Like you said, the biggest thing that got us interested in listening to you at Son of a Gun was you said, if your life sucks, it's probably your fault.
Chances are it's definitely your fault, yeah. And, this is another problem that I see because I have some friends that are heavily involved in their community. It's more secretive what they do, but the general idea is still Rotary, right? It's to help the people around you. But one of the things that I'm seeing is that it's those things are older. Like the members in Richmond, it was very obvious that the guys were all in their 60s, 70s. Oh. And to me, it's sad. Like, it kind of breaks my heart to see those type of organization not being refilled with younger member. And I don't know why. To me, the only thing I can do is maybe have a guy like you on, and hopefully this will help with the reach that I get. Maybe this is going to help people. But is there a solution? Do you see a solution to that?
I think I've talked to our Rotary district governor about this. He lives down in Phoenix, like 3 hours from Havasu. So we're rural in comparison to them. But I've talked to him about it. And the biggest difference, because you're seeing, like, Rotary was founded, I'm going to say like 100 or so years ago. And so there are some members that have been in, like in our club, there are members that have been in Rotary for 40 years, like longer than I've been freaking alive, right? There are some older members, and you do need some of those newer members. And the thing is, you don't want those people to clash, right? So, some people might be stuck in their ways and rigid, and some people come up with new ideas. That's why there's different clubs. So I think that the solution is all Rotarians want to make the world a better place, right?
Sure.
Some of them do it with their checkbooks, right? Some of them do it with their hands.
Yep.
So it's like Earth Day was a perfect example. Community service project, and that brings a ton of people together. If, like, we have lunch meetings for Rotary, right? You were at one, and we usually have a speaker and stuff. But there are some organizations that they're not doing lunch meetings. They're doing service project meetings instead. Hey, we're going to go clean up the highway and get together and have a good time that way. We still do those things, but our meeting is, a little more formal. But, different kind of clubs. And like I said, understanding that diversity is the best. So doing more service stuff, though, and galvanizing around that common goal of, making the world and your community a better place.
Because at the end of the day, that's all it is. If I just want the people out there to know that if you want to make a change, there are organizations like Rotary clubs that you can join and start making a change. Put your money with your mouth. Put your money where your mouth is. Stop fucking complaining about everything that goes wrong in your life, and fucking do something about it. And one of the things that I find amazing about Rotary is that you do have powerful men there. So if you really want to make a change, you're around people that have the power to make changes that you alone wouldn't have.
Absolutely.
And this is, call a spade a spade. This is one of the things that I love about Rotary. When we're in Richmond, I got to meet people that are on the legislation of Virginia, because Richmond is old money. So you show up to those places, there's a lot of powerful men there. A lot of powerful men. And you know what? You want to make a change? Those guys will shake your hand. I've had conversations with some of the guys there that I would have never been able to have a conversation with, just because I got invited by my mentor to show up there. You have access to men that can actually put, if you have ideas out there, if you have an idea to change your community, but you do not know how, join one of those places and start talking about it. Don't be afraid to mention good ideas, because from what I've seen, those guys will listen to you, and they have money to back up your idea. So it's stop being a bitch and start fucking doing something about it.
Yeah, I can't tell you how big of a difference that's made in my life, I guess, is just, getting involved and not being afraid to talk to those people. It's, I run a business in town. Havasu is kind of a smallish town, like 50, 60,000 people, and you tend to meet people, but if you're out there, right, you can't just sit at home, and you can't run a business and be at home, right? We're out there, and you meet those same people, that are the movers and shakers in the community. But yeah, man, like if you want to make a difference or anything, like that helps you so much. You get so well connected, and in most places I wouldn't be, super important. I kind of be a nobody, but in Havasu, man, I know all the city council members, the mayor, the fire chief on a first name basis, and not bragging or anything, but those connections are super important, right? If something goes down or you need help with something, you got it, right? That's huge. It
goes even further than that. You have there's an expression that says that you are the sum of the 5 people closest to you. Mm-hmm. Imagine that the people that are the closest to you are city shakers, are people that actually have power, that were elected in positions where they can actually change shit. Imagine that that's the people you hang out with. Imagine the type of impact that you can have on your community. There's no fucking excuses anymore.
Right.
And and this is why I found it so important to talk to you, is because a lot of people feel powerless. They feel like they don't have, there's nothing that they can do. But yet those clubs are everywhere. There's thousands of them in the U.S.
Yeah, just get involved.
Yeah, it is just that fucking simple.
That's it.
Just get involved. Do it. There's something on your phone that's called Google. Just fucking Google Rotary Club near me. Enter. You'll fucking find one. Then get involved.
100%. Find a club that you enjoy, and you're going to find that you're going to make a huge difference, even if you're that person that thinks you can't do it alone. Dude, when I first joined Rotary, I didn't think I was going to be involved in politics or anything. Now, being around those people, yeah, I'll probably run for city council or state government at some point here in the near future, because I want to make a difference. And what's next after my Rotary presidency? I've kind of had those conversations with myself, and I've got those connections. I've had those conversations with those people, and they're all supportive. Like let's make a difference.
And the other beautiful thing is, even if you don't have any aspirations to become a politician, you have no aspirations of becoming a president, all you want to do is be part of an organization that cares.
That's it.
There's nothing wrong with any of it. If you want more, go for it. If you're satisfied with just being a pair of hands that wants to help their community, that's one of the most noble causes you can have.
Yeah, so we've got business owners and retired folks, people that are just doing it for, hey, this is what we do every week, and then we've got people that are, okay, my lunch break, I'm running to Rotary and going to do the meeting, and we're gonna do some good stuff, and then back to work. That one's me. But
is there something you want to say in finishing this? Do you want to plug something? Is there something you want to talk about? Something you want to add to our conversation?
Yeah, I've been sitting here being an ambassador for Rotary. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit of good things about Lake Havasu City. By the way, you're nailing it now. I was watching your video, and he's I'm headed to Lake somewhere. I'm like, all right, hey, he's got it figured out now. Lake Havasu. If you haven't visited, you got to come here. This place is amazing. And then since the old man plugged his gun shop, which probably the best gun shop I've ever been in, well, we'll plug our business, Mojave Mist Spa. It's funny getting involved in the community and stuff. I believe anybody can just sell a product. And I think through this podcast, you're finding I'm very relational. And I think we've shifted our whole business to that. So now, our motto is sometimes the best room in the house isn't in the house at all. Yeah. I'm from Wisconsin. It sucks out there. Like, you're from Canada. It sucks, right? You're not enjoying it outside.
Nope.
Down here in Arizona, it's beautiful. We just want people to enjoy this town. And so, from our business all the way through Rotary Club, that's what it's about. So basically what he's saying is, instead of just sitting in your backyard desert, why not sitting
why not be sitting in a bath of your own filth? I mean, in a really, really nice spa where you can be very comfortable and enjoy what's in front of you.
Yeah, or misting system where it's hot as shit out here, 120 degrees in the summertime. I don't know if you've experienced that yet, but
no, not yet.
No, you're in for it. Yeah, our misting systems will cool the backyard by 20 degrees.
That's a good sales pitch right there. That's actually a very good sales pitch.
Yeah,
so if you want to be 20 degrees cooler in the desert of Arizona, get a spa.
Misting system.
Oh shit! There you go, misting system.
That's what it's about. You can relax in your spa underneath your misting system.
On that note, is there anything else?
No, man, I appreciate it.
No other shameless plugs?
No other shameless plugs.
Okay, I'm okay with shameless plugs. They're fine.
Hey, that's it, man. That's all
Thanks
I got.
again, brother.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Nico Lagan Show. Nico has been involved in the martial arts for 20 years. He's a Muay Thai coach, focus coach, podcaster, and sought-after public speaker. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and we hope you've gotten some useful and practical information. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Coach Nico Lagan and on YouTube at The Nico Lagan Show. See you next time.